Hey there, everyone. Welcome to a new episode of Speaking My Mind. Today's episode is about one specific person that's been a prime subject of me wanting to make this kind of episode. But first, a bit of what this episode is going to be about. See, on the internet, everyone thinks that they can do whatever they damn well please. They think they can say what they want. They think they can do what they want. Hell, I am guilty of that sort of thing too, because free speech and all that jazz. No one can stop you on the internet. But that's not inherently true. When you decide to be a member on a site like, for example, YouTube or DeviantArt or Tumblr or Twitter, then there are rules to follow. You know, that thing you have to agree on when you make an account anywhere. Also known as the biggest lie ever when you click I have read and agree with the guidelines and policies and terms of service. No one reads that text wall. But once you click that, you are bound to those rules, and if you break a rule, then there are consequences. It's not the site's fault that you didn't take the time to read those rules, and it's not the site's fault that you have been punished for something you could have easily prevented. Enter Aleximus Prime. You may know this artist, or you may not, but he is most well known for making pony pictures with a way too large behind, and then making up an excuse that he totally doesn't have a butt fetish. I'll be crystal clear transparent with you guys. I have a bias against this guy, and he has one against me. Why, you ask? Because I called out one of his buddies on obviously tracing. But that's something way in the past, and that buddy already got what he had coming for him, and he's a nobody now. But yeah, Alex here was very intent on making me out to be the villain in this, and hasn't stopped thinking that. So, let's take a flashback to last month, begin September. Suddenly, I got news from one of my friends that they noticed that Alex's DeviantArt was suspended. At first I didn't believe it, but when I went and took a look myself, indeed, it was the case. Me, being a curious little kitty, went and looked for the cause of this suspension on his Twitter, because, like every other person with a keyboard, he loves to tell his life on Twitter. Turns out that he was suspended for some pictures he made. Knowing Alex, this wasn't exactly a surprise. He has several saucy and suggestive pictures in his gallery that have no kind of mature tag, which is strike one, ignoring the rules. DeviantArt, by the way, has this nice little thing added recently that tells you when others have reported your picture for being mature and needing the tag. Either you can add the tag, or you can dispute it. Funny little thing about that DeviantArt thing, actually. I myself had a message from DeviantArt that one of my pictures was deleted because it was against the rules. The picture in question was of a naked Maud Pie laying against a rock, but her hand was placed in quite a questionable place. I blame my inability of drawing hands for that. I disputed it through that message, and while at first I didn't get an answer, I was okay with it because I understood the rule I broke. But then about a week back or so, I got a message that the picture was A-OK and it was placed back. Communication for the win. Alex completely admitted that he has been ignoring those messages. So that is strike two, ignoring the warnings. But Spoken, I hear you say. These pics couldn't be that bad to cause a suspension. I mean, DeviantArt is full of filthy pictures, which I'll be talking about at the end of this, by the way. Well, dear watcher, I can give you a strike three. These saucy/suggestive/sexualized pictures were of an underage character. And that is the third strike, and you are at 2-week suspension, the longest you can get, as far as I know. I would put the pictures over here to show you, but I don't want my video taken down. So instead, I'll give you a bit of a description. If you're familiar with the character Shantae, forgive me for any mispronunciation, I'm not familiar with the character. She is the protagonist of the same name game series, and then you might already know where I'm going to. This character is often depicted in a belly dancer outfit with cleavage shown, but still at moderate proportions. It's not like her boobs would fall out of her bra/breast piece. According to the wiki, Shantae is about 16. This means that she is underage. If she would be an adult, then there would be about 18, logically. And granted, okay, her official art does show her in some pretty showing outfits already. But like I said, those are moderate and at least cover up as much as they can without being vulgar. Now, Alex's picture did nothing to shy away from imagination. The picture that was deleted was of Shantae in a bikini that barely covered her nipples and other lady parts. If Alex knew how to properly draw the female body, then nipples would have been shown. I can guarantee that. Not to mention that she looks at the camera all seductively and is even teasing the audience by pulling at her bikini to show her boobs. But okay, I can give you that perhaps Shantae may be borderline adult and it falls to discussion. But you can't say this about his other pictures that got him suspended. The ones of a human Silverstream. You know, the hippogriff character introduced to us in season 8 of My Little Pony. She's a part of the Student 6 and she is clearly underage. If this fact wasn't already obvious because of her being part of the young 6, her character Puppet is also clearly part of the younger form of their species, if you compare her to adult characters. Alex just went ahead and drew not one, but 2 versions of this character humanized, one where she is a mermaid with her boobs almost popping out of the shell bra, and another with legs and no lower garments, and also her boobs almost popping out of the shell bra. You will find that he has now added a disclaimer to those Silverstream pictures, but I can assure you that he has only added that recently to not get taken down again. As proven by this link sent to me on September 19th, which doesn't show the disclaimer message. Now, 2 weeks of suspension. And you would think that he does a bit of insightful thinking, a bit of trying to figure out what could have gone wrong. Nope! Like our big red pony would say, absolutely nothing of that. Instead, he goes on a Twitter and Tumblr rampage, blaming anyone but himself for the suspension, saying that DeviantArt's rules are messed up, that the official art shows the same kind of nudity, which it does not, by the way, and he is arguing that the wiki says about 16, so it must mean that she is over 18 and not a logical solution of her being underage. Anything to make himself not to blame. He doesn't even mention the Silverstream pictures, only briefly. He even went as far as to threaten legal action to DeviantArt if he would get banned. When he returns, he of course makes a huge journal, with a stupid clickbait title even, because that will have people take you seriously, and shoves all the blame on DeviantArt, and not once is there a moment of insight, where he realizes, hey, perhaps I was at fault here. And the worst part? Everyone just believes this. Everyone just goes ahead and takes his word as fact and doesn't question anything. They just eat up his shit like sweet, sweet chocolate. He didn't even learn his lesson afterwards, because he attempted to repost the Shantae pictures cropped with a link to the picture in the description, which obviously got reported and taken down too, because DeviantArt doesn't allow cropped or blurred or censored pictures that are against the rules. You would think that he finally learned his lesson then. No, sadly, he didn't. Right before recording this, I was told about his latest journal. He did send a complaint ticket to the DeviantArt staff, and of course they didn't comply with him, because it was against the rules. Let me quickly read their response for you. In this case, the character has been established by the creators as an underage character. Fictional characters will be considered in their original context. This does mean that if a character is depicted as a minor, under the age of 18, in their series they will be considered a minor by DeviantArt policy. That character will be considered underage unless there is an official change and the character has been above the age of a minor for a significant amount of time. This has been the established system and has been posted on our support pages. We do encourage artists to be creative as a means of expression. There are limits that we do have regarding erotic or mature art, and we do have parameters that we do need to consider. You may consider publishing the work with alterations or censoring areas that may cause issues. This can be confusing, so you'll find the restrictions in regards to the erotic or sexual portrayal of fictional characters in our knowledge base located at link given. Please do not resubmit the affected content and be certain to abide by this restriction in the future. Let us know if you have any questions about the policies listed on our website. Thank you for your cooperation. And instead of just listening to the staff of the site that is responsible for his portfolio and basically what his potential clients will see, he just insults the staff, calls them incompetent, and then basically at the end of this journal he calls for people to start boycotting DeviantArt. Look, I don't care that he's putting himself in danger by being such an idiot. But he's basically putting everyone else's account in danger by asking them to draw boycott art. He even pulls this stupid argument that, and I quote, "This basically means you can't show images of the CMC as human/anthro adults in bikinis, even if the image is tame or just a bit sexy, but not explicit. But doesn't that technically mean we can't show an image of Twilight or any of the main six in the same manner? They were all kids at once after all. By this logic, every single pin-up photo that cosplayers have made that is too sexy should be taken down because they were kids once too." End quote. No, you made suggestive art of an underage character. If someone would make suggestive art of the CMC as a child, then that would mean they get taken down too. If they obviously age the character up and mention they're an adult, then there is no fucking problem. How stupid can you be not to realize that? In this kind of case, that kind of argument is the stupidest thing you can use. There's a big difference between drawing a teenager or a child in a suggestive manner and an adult in a provoking manner. That's why I'm making this video in the first place. To let everyone know how much of a douchebag this guy is and how they don't see what kind of an asshole he is. I even confronted him over on Tumblr and his reply was a block and a text wall. This guy is trying to be a writer, by the way. Stop laughing, I'm serious. And then that previous argument I mentioned that some people pull like, "Oh, but Spoken, there are so many worse things out there on DeviantArt. Why aren't those taken down?" Well, here's a thing that might surprise you. They don't get reported. I had an idiot come up to me with a list of barely clothed Shantae pictures which were obviously against the rules. I reported those, and guess what? Within a few hours, they were gone. If you see something bad, don't just go and whine about it to someone else. Take some action and report it yourself. Of course they stay around if you don't do anything about it. And this kind of thing doesn't only happen on DeviantArt. Over the last few weeks, I came across a multitude of videos about one certain subject that were clearly against the rules. And I reported them for a multitude of reasons. They were that bad. And they got taken down, followed by the whining of those users. By the way, you know who you are, and if you're watching this, then good for me. I need some salt on these fries. Just like with Alex, sites have rules. Rules are meant to be followed, and breaking those rules have consequences. And if people call me out on it, that I shouldn't be such a party pooper and that I should feel bad for them losing their monetization or channel, then I'm just gonna laugh. Ha ha ha. Because if you want to get money by laughing at others' expenses and hardships, then you don't deserve that. And I gladly take glee with that. I'm Spoken Mind. Thank you for watching.